When it comes to men and women in the workplace, things aren't usually too equal. Obviously, things are getting better now, but when it comes to Hollywood, they've always played by their own rules, created by men of course, years and years ago. Today we're counting down the top 10 celebrities that shared heartbreaking experiences of sexism. What are your thoughts on the inequality and discrimination still present in Hollywood today? I want to hear all of your thoughts on these actors' stories in the comments. At number 10, Jennifer Lopez. I guess now she's Jennifer Affleck, but it's still so new I haven't made the transition yet. One of the most talented women in the entertainment industry, she can sing, dance, act, and she looks like that at 53. Lopez has mostly appeared in rom-coms like Made in Manhattan, The Wedding Planner, and Monster-in-Law. During a roundtable with The Hollywood Reporter, she said, "I've always been fascinated by how much more well-behaved we have to be than men. I got a moniker of being the diva, which I never felt I deserved, which I don't deserve, because I've always been a hard worker, on-time, professional, and getting that label because you reach a certain amount of success." Lopez went on to say, "I was always fascinated by how I could see a man being late or being belligerent to a crew and it being totally acceptable. Meanwhile, I show up 15 minutes late and be berated. Ever since the beginning of time, there have been a different set of rules for men and women that are acceptable. For men, everything is acceptable. For women, it's only acceptable if a man accepts it, which will vary depending on the man." Number 9, Maisie Williams. Her debut role was none other than playing Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. In 2015, the actor told the Evening Standard, "There are a lot of roles that come in that are the girlfriend or the hot piece in a movie or TV series." Apparently this is something Williams is very familiar with and something she's seen firsthand. She said casting notes will say, "Derek, intelligent, good with kids, funny, really good at this." And then it will say, "Sandra, hot in a sort of cute way." And that's all you get. Then she went on to explain how hard that can make things when trying to be the character. She said, "That's the way your character is described, so going into an audition, you're channeling hot, which isn't a person, that's not who a person is. It may be all some men take from a woman, but believe it or not, even hot people have different personalities from each other." Williams also said, "That's what I see and that's what needs to change. I just hope if we stop playing those characters, they'll stop being written. The more women who refuse to play roles with such a lack of personality, hopefully the less we will see them in shows." Number 8, Gina Rodriguez. Her most recognizable role is probably Jane from Jane the Virgin, but since the show ended, Rodriguez has been landing more roles than ever. In 2015, however, she talked about a role that was not worth the unnecessary audition requests. During a roundtable with The Hollywood Reporter, Rodriguez said, "I was up for a role and auditioned in character. They were like, 'We love her, but can she come back with a tight black dress?' The now confused actor questioned the request, saying that doesn't make any sense to the character. Then she dropped the bombshell and revealed, quote, 'They were like, we need to know if you're pretty enough to be on the cover of a magazine.' Gross. First of all, you know what she looks like, she just auditioned for you. And second of all, since when does being on a magazine cover have to do with a movie role? I understand you have to promote the film, but come on, who decides whether or not they want to see a movie by the way the actress looks on the magazine cover?" At number 7, Viola Davis. She's received numerous awards for her career, including an Academy Award, an Emmy Award, and 2 Tony Awards. With that, she's also the only black person to achieve the triple crown of acting. Probably best known for How to Get Away with Murder and The Help, Davis always brings a powerful performance to the screen. During a Women in the World speech in 2018, she discussed how the gender pay gap in Hollywood is even wider for black women. She talked about how a lot of women actors have been coming forward to reveal that what they're getting paid is half of what a man is getting paid. Davis said, "I stand in solidarity with them, okay? But we get probably a tenth of what a Caucasian woman gets. And I'm number 1 on the call sheet. And then I have to go in and hustle for my worth. If Davis is getting a tenth of what a white woman's pay is, which is already half of a man's, that equals a disgusting amount of inequality. It blows my mind that we are still paying women and people of color less than men, especially in the film industry where they have the funds. I'd like to see a man give 20 times the performance of Davis, only then would the pay be justified." Number 6, Michelle Yeoh. She has appeared in tons of movies, most recently starring in Everything Everywhere All at Once. She's also widely known for her action and martial arts roles. Unfortunately though, in the beginning of her career, the stunt trainers doubted her abilities. As an Asian woman, nothing was being handed to her regardless of her talent, but it never stopped her. In 2021, Michelle told The Guardian, "They literally folded their arms, stood back, and watched me. This little thing wants to do all this, but Yeoh followed them move for move." She said, "I was in that gym from 8:30 a.m. until sundown every day." Along with trainers and producers, Yeoh also faced sexism from her male co-stars. When asked if it was true that Jackie Chan thought that women belonged in the kitchen rather than in action movies, she replied, "He used to, until I kicked his butt." The only way Yeoh was getting into the industry was by being the best, and the best she was. Luckily, she never gave up and she continued continues to kick butt on camera with every new role. At number 5, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Seeing as her father Steven and mother Naomi are both directors, it's no surprise that both her and her brother Jake are both talented on camera. The actor has appeared in movies like Donnie Darko, Secretary, and The Dark Knight. While her parents may have helped her get started, she's kept the roles coming all on her own. When it comes to Hollywood, age is a crazy concept. Men seem to only get better with age, and women apparently become uglier and uglier as they age, to a point where aging has become a negative thing. During an interview with The Wrap in 2015, Gyllenhaal said, "There are things that are really disappointing about being an actress in Hollywood that surprise me all the time. I'm 37 and I was told recently I was too old to play the lover of a man who was 55. This is so ridiculous, I wish I never heard it, but alas, men. The more we make women these unattainable objects in movies, the more men are going to be expecting it in the real world. Newsflash, women over 40 exist." Gyllenhaal also shared, "It was astonishing to me. It made me feel bad, and then it made me feel angry, and then it made me laugh." At number 4, Kate Beckinsale. She's been in movies like Underworld, Van Helsing, and Pearl Harbor. On an episode of The Graham Norton Show, Beckinsale discussed the way she was treated as opposed to her male co-stars when working on Pearl Harbor, which was directed by Michael Bay. She told Norton, "I don't think I fit the type of actress Michael Bay had met before. I think he was baffled by me because my boobs weren't bigger than my head and I wasn't blonde." She went on to say that she had just had her daughter and lost weight, but was told if she got the part, she'd have to work out. Ick. Beckinsale said, "When we were promoting the movie, Michael was asked why he had chosen Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett, and he said, 'I've worked with Ben before and I love him, and Josh is so manly and a wonderful actor.' Then when he was asked about me, he'd say Kate wasn't so attractive that she would alienate the female audience." To make things worse, Beckinsale said that he would say that answer everywhere they went, and they went a lot of places. "I think Michael Bay needs a reality check, because if Kate Beckinsale was standing near me, I'd feel pretty alienated." Men are seen for their talent first, and women are always seen for their looks first. Number 3, Zoe Saldana. The actress has an impressive history of roles, appearing in 3 of the 5 highest grossing films of all time, which no other performer has achieved. As of 2019, she was the 2nd highest grossing film actress of all time. Avatar, Columbiana, and Guardians of the Galaxy are just a few of her most popular films. Along with her magnificent achievements, not every movie experience is quite as rewarding as others. During a 2016 interview with Allure, Saldana shared, "A producer said, 'I hired you to look good in your underwear holding a gun.' But then she went on to reveal that she had been told walking into the project that they really wanted her for the part, and that any input or any idea that she had to please share them." Saldana said, "That's what I was doing, and this producer was so bothered by the fact that he had to disrupt his vacation to call me and tell me to stop being a difficult bee." Her thoughts in that moment were, "Wow, it's real, it really happens. Why tell her to share her input just to degrade her and treat her like trash? Just don't even offer that option to her in the first place." Later, Saldana said, "I wish I'd recorded it so I could play it for every girl in elementary school and tell them to never let anybody treat them that way." Number 2, Emmy Rossum. She is an extremely talented actress who can play just about anyone. She's been in The Phantom of the Opera, Shameless, and most recently portrayed Angeline in the self-titled series. While she has been landing roles for decades, she's also been dealing with the struggles of being a woman in Hollywood. Also, during a roundtable with The Hollywood Reporter, Rossum said, "My agent called me and was like, 'I'm so embarrassed to make this call, but there's a big movie and they're gonna offer it to you. They really love your work on Shameless, but the director wants you to come into his office in a bikini.' To make things worse, her agent continued with, 'There's no audition. That's all you have to do.' I don't think you could have a bigger red flag than this guy when it comes to hiring someone." Rossum went on to say he wanted to know if I was fat now. That was basically the question, and I actually had this moment like, well, how good is the part? She revealed that for a second she thought, would I do it? She asked to be sent the script because who knows, maybe the character's in a bikini in the movie. She's not. I couldn't sum it up better than Rossum herself with, quote, "We really love your work, but we just want to see how tight your ass is. Are you effing kidding me? Last time I checked, I'm not an effing model." And at number 1, Mila Kunis. Since playing Jackie Burkhart on That 70s Show at 14, Kunis has become one of the most recognizable women in Hollywood. In 2016, Kunis wrote an open letter about a producer whose #1 priority was not the film apparently. She wrote, "You'll never work in this town again. A cliche to be sure, but also what a producer threatened and when I refused to pose semi-naked on the cover of a men's magazine to promote our film. She said in that moment she decided she was no longer willing to subject herself to a naive compromise that she had been previously willing to. Hearing "I will never work in this town again" lit a fire inside of her. Kunis said, "I was livid, I felt objectified, and for the first time in my career I said no." She continued on to say, "Guess what? The film made a lot of money and I did work in this town again, and again, and again. Women are conditioned to believe that if we speak up, our livelihoods will be threatened and that standing our ground will lead to our demise." Kunis said, "I'm done compromising, even more so, I'm done with being compromised. The only thing that an actor should be worried about ruining their career should be a bad performance." And Kunis has proved time and time again that's not something that will be happening anytime soon. That was the top 10 celebrities that shared heartbreaking experiences of sexism. I have been your host Maddie, and I will catch you next time for another Top 10 Countdown.